Hello, welcome everyone. This is my, I think, 26th live stream. This time it's a bit unexpected in the middle of the week, but it's gonna have the same format as usual. An idea is to present an example streaming app, which is a small piece of code that can help you with starting building, let's say, streaming apps by using your favorite source of events and the Memgraph. Basically, an idea is to get data out of your existing systems and then analyze it with the graph algorithms. And so I will try to explain how that works and how to run these examples. It's gonna be, I think, fairly fast. Just going through examples. We have examples in multiple programming languages. And yeah, as usual, please like, share, and subscribe if you like the content, and would you like to stay for the future stuff. Yeah, as I said, should be fairly quick. But yeah, if you have any questions and comments, please ask in the chat. All right, let's get started. So here I'll move myself here. So there is an open source repo under Memgraph organization that has these examples already. So here is the overall overview of the whole thing. So we have some kind of a producer which sends events in this particular format. It has nodes and edges. I will explain the format a little bit later, but essentially that messages go through Kafka and then end up in the backend, and then backend actually creates stuff inside Memgraph, and Memgraph is then responsible for noticing that there is new data and also triggering calculations. This is like the current example of how the stuff works. Of course, in the future we're gonna improve and incrementally improve this example as Memgraph gets more and more features. But yeah, then like at some point nodes and edges are created inside Memgraph, and then Memgraph has triggers and also Memgraph has built-in calculation to update the graph with the recent stuff. In this particular case, we will just count number of neighbors of a given node. I'll explain the query a little bit later as well. And yeah, once that's Memgraph holds all the data about the graph and incrementally updates the count, and then of course backend serves that data to the front end. So in this repository, these three components are let's say covered, and all the interactions are built in. So Kafka, backend, and Memgraph are properly set up within the repository. So yeah, README has a bunch of stuff, so you can go through it. I'll just quickly explain. So actually, the whole repository supports many programming languages, at this point 5. So there are Node, Python, Java, Go, and C#. The plan is to add more as well, but yeah, that will come soon. In addition, so we do have actually 2 Kafka producers. These are just examples of how to produce messages and send them to Kafka. Of course, in the real world, these messages could be replaced with anything. Kafka basically has Kafka can send and process any, not process, like send any type of string. But yeah, we have the producer, we have the backend written in these 5 programming languages, and from that backend, queries are executed against Memgraph, and the backend is responsible for communicating between Kafka and Memgraph. And at the end, Memgraph has these calculations built in, and whenever a new data comes in, it actually triggers the recalculation automatically. So there is concept of a trigger, and I'll explain that also a little bit later. So yeah, that's mostly on a super high level. So let's actually try out something. On this PC, I don't have setup for most of these platforms, so I think Python and Node might be fine. Because I'm using Python, that's fine. But all the rest on this PC, I don't have a particular setup, so I hope I'll encounter some even errors, and I can install stuff from scratch so that the whole process is covered, so that I don't miss something because I already have that installed, or it's already set up in a particular way, which is not obvious to everyone. So okay, let's go in that order. So if I click here, Node, yeah, I have here Node, but and I have the comments here how to run Node, but prior to that, I'll just clone repo. So I'm in my folder here, git clone, but I'll actually do the SSH stuff. So git at github.com. Yeah. Why does that? Sorry. All right. So we have example streaming app here, and let's go back here. So a Kafka consumer is started, messages are accepted in the special format. So if we click here, this is just linked to the stuff. So how it works. So there is a Kafka consumer that will consume messages. There we need the Memgraph client, and also we need the consumer. I think here should be okay. Not sure if here should be a consumer or producer, but fine. So anyway, I will get that on the code side. How to run? Let's do this. So install the dependencies by running npm install. So I have to position myself here under backend node. Nothing is here, but if we run npm install, so I actually have node installed, which is okay. Just to check npm ---- version, I have that, and node ---- version. So this is actually super old node version. nvm list. I don't have nvm here, but okay. Let's say that that's the node version. Let's try to run with this one. I think the latest stable node version is actually 14 something. This is quite old, I would say, but anyway, let's try with that. I think that's the default thing that comes with Ubuntu, so that should also work as expected. Okay, anyway, we installed the dependencies for the backend. Now the Kafka. So there is in the repository there is a folder Kafka, which has the run script that will actually run Zookeeper Kafka and create a topic. So Kafka has that concept of a topics where you send messages and then you can subscribe to that topic and get all incoming messages on the consumer side. So let me just maybe showcase that. How to Kafka run. So here we have the run script and what it does. So it will download the Kafka repository, run this part, which is some kind of preparation step or a build step that has to be run before anything else. And then we can start here a consumer Kafka producer. So consumer and producer in this case are just simple script that can be used to test that everything is working. Kafka is actually starting Kafka. Topic is creating a topic on existing instance of Kafka, and Zookeeper is required at this point because Kafka depends on it. Even though in the future versions of Kafka, Zookeeper will be replaced or with something natively built for Kafka. All right, so that's about the Kafka script. So I'll actually create a new terminal for these things. Let's just put it here. Example Kafka. So run Zookeeper. First we need Zookeeper. So that will clone the Kafka repo first and run the build stuff. So that will take some time. And then I'll start another repo because we need one more repo one more terminal for Kafka. This is how this script works. So yeah, they need these scripts need are blocking, so we need different terminals to actually run all of that. Hopefully in the future when Zookeeper will be replaced, we can avoid running multiple stuff, but yeah, we'll come there. Workspace code, example streaming app, Kafka run Kafka, but we'll wait until this finishes because we need that build phase, and that will take a couple of minutes actually. All right, maybe while that is happening, maybe I can just quickly explain the backend code. So each backend essentially is consumer of a Kafka topic, and there are messages are coming in this format. So we have a command, which is in this case node or edge, and essentially it means that node or edge is created on the will be created inside Memgraph. This is just a, let's say, example of how that works. That doesn't have any. The semantic is defined in a simple way, and it can be replaced with something more complex. It depends what do you need. What do you need in your applications? And then this is of course a bit specific to graphs, to property graph, a node message also contains a label. That label will be attached to a node, and then in addition to label, we have unique fields. These fields are important because, for example, that's ID of a node. That these unique fields are created based on will be used to reference real nodes, and in general, these are unique fields that should be or could be used for create stuff, and then also update and find stuff in the graph. And then the rest fields are coming here. And also the edge command has label 1, unique labels 1. These are the that information is referencing, let's say, a starting node. Then we have edge type, edge fields, and then label 2, unique fields 2 are referencing the second node or the ending node. So these messages will come from Kafka, and Backend will consume them and parse them, and then create queries inside Memgraph. Maybe just to check what is going on here. Yeah, we have the Zookeeper running. Let's try and run Kafka. In this case, everything is already downloaded, and Kafka is, I think, successfully started now, which is great. And let's go back here a bit. So here we also have run topic. If we run that, a topic should be created topic. So we just, for the convenient reasons, just topic is created with the name topic. Okay, great. Now we have Kafka ready, which is great. I'll just go back here and I will not run these things here, but you can use this to verify that Kafka is actually up and running and everything, and play with that. So with the producer, you can, that's a console producer, so you can run a message here, write a message here, and if you also run a consumer at the same time, it will consume that message, just print out in the terminal. So yeah, that's how you can play with that. But more or less, Kafka is installed and it's up and running. Okay, let's go back to the node because we have to start that application somehow. And in order to do so, npm run backend has to be executed. So we are here. Let's go backend node. We are again here. We have node modules installed. If we run this, great. We got minimal streaming app listening on at HTTP localhost 3000. Okay, actually, sorry, I skipped running Memgraph. We also have to run Memgraph, and for that, there is also our convenient run script to run Memgraph. So if we go here and see what that has, so we have, so if we run this script by run and then argument Memgraph, that will actually run Docker under the hood and initialize the whole thing. And then once when the init has started, we'll do a couple of things. So we're gonna create index, create constraint, create trigger, and also update neighbors trigger. So this is just placed here. So in this folder, Memgraph queries, there are all these queries in separate files. So let's check create index. In addition to that, we have create constraint, we have create trigger, and create update node trigger. So create index is very simple. I'll just zoom in a bit. So to create a database index, you just execute create index on label person and ID. That's pretty straightforward. Also, we want to create a unique constraint on person and ID. So in this case, database will ensure that only that each person has a unique property ID. In addition, we have a create trigger. So this trigger actually is executed every time when a new node is created, and that's going to happen after commit. So that's going to happen once a database transaction is committed. And this query here will be executed. So it will get all created vertices and or nodes and set neighbors to 0. So because we don't have these property in the original dataset that will come in through Kafka, we will just append that property on each newly created node. That's just an example of how stuff could be organized and coded. That's fairly simple, and this thing here is a bit more complex, but essentially it's very similar. So on each node update, so this is the syntax to define that on each new update, and also after commit, execute this whole query here. So it essentially says for each update vertices, give me a vertex, because the update has a slightly different data structure that is dealing with. We have to extract vertex here from that context, and then it says match me start node and end node, match me start node and will get to end nodes, and to whatever end node we end up, the neighbors will be increased to 1 for 1. So each end node will have neighbors increased, and then get me all start nodes and count me all end nodes as neighbors. And then set neighbors property. All right, that's about it. So these things will be automatically executed inside Memgraph. I'll just close this. If this is not clear or anything, just feel free to ask. I hope I explained in a good way. So that's Memograph, but we need to actually run Memograph as well. So that's here, and as we said, so we're gonna just run that script and passing Memgraph argument. So yeah, I'll close the app for a moment, and then let's go back and let's do Memgraph run Memgraph. Hopefully, boom. All right. Oh, now we have a first unexpected error. Let's see. MG console file not found on the path unknown. We don't have MG console on the path. I think that's it, because we don't have this version. We have the we don't have the the last version of Memgraph. So let's quickly update that. So if you go memgraph.com/download, here I need. So actually, what does this says? Run Memgraph instruction. Yeah, because the script is referencing latest Memgraph, but version 1.4 doesn't have MG console, so yeah, Memgraph has to be downloaded from here. Okay, that will also take some time. While we are waiting, let's just do additional stuff, but I don't think we have to. We can do anything else. Maybe. Once we start Memgraph, we actually have to run a producer. So we have two producers. We have static producer, which will just read that input CSV file and send that to Kafka. But stream producer is more interesting because it will send stuff to Kafka every, I think, 4 seconds. So we're gonna start that. But let me just prepare. So this is Python. I hope I have Python 3 version. I have Python, but what do we need? We need Kafka here. Yeah, that's kind of interesting because we are missing a requirement here for that producer, because requirement is called Kafka Python, I think. Kafka Python, yeah, that package here. Okay, I'm gonna update that as well. Okay, Memgraph is downloaded. So docker load -e downloads Memgraph. What do we need? We need 1.6. That's the latest one. Okay. Docker images, we have that as a latest image. So we should be able to go there and run Memgraph, run Memgraph. Docker ps. So we already have that container for some reason, but just the script has failed. Stop Memgraph streaming app and Docker. So I'm just now stopping the previous container. Docker remove. No such container. Because the -d flag. The script runs Memgraph by providing -d flag. So let me try again. This is now not great because I think it should be. I think it's just for some reason the wrong Docker container is used. I'll just try to ensure that I have a Memgraph 1.4 3 1.2 Memgraph, also Memgraph Mage, Memgraph latest. sorry. I forgot a bit that Memgraph run. Memgraph is actually running Memgraph/Memgraph latest. PS minus A. Which one is that? So BC0F. Okay. Okay. Let's delete all of them. 7, 7, 8 and 9B8. Okay, what about now? So we removed that latest image from here, but that also should be improved. I'll write that down somehow and fix it a bit later. Sorry, do I have that? Memgraph, can I run this command again? Yeah. Starting Memgraph. But I didn't delete it. Memgraph latest. Sorry, I'm now repeating myself, but RME Memgraph latest. Okay, great. Images, we have the 1.6 and we don't have anything else. I hope this time it's gonna work. Yeah, it doesn't have the image locally. Yeah, so we started. So the problem was that I assumed wrongly that we're gonna use the local image of Memgraph, which is not the case. We actually pull data from Memgraph, from the Docker Hub, but since we already had the latest Memgraph locally, it used, I think, 1.4 version of Memgraph instead of 1.5 or 1.6 that have MG console installed. Okay, let's just quickly verify that we have everything through the Memgraph lab. If I run that, I can connect, and also I can run show indexes. Show index in the. I think that's right. Yeah. So we have person ID and show triggers. And yeah, we have these two triggers ready. Great. Let's go back here, and if I run now docker ps, I have Memgraph up and running, and also we have, here is Kafka and here is Zookeeper. So okay, topic was created, that's great. And let's go node, just to remind myself, backend node, if we run this here, we're gonna run Memgraph backend, I mean the backend application. All right, that's good. So we run all these 4 steps, and at the end we also have to run a producer. So let's see instructions for that. Yeah, we have these two, but I'll try to run the stream producer. But this is actually not explained, but I'll add that. So let me just make a note that these two have to be installed. So I actually have Kafka Python, and what else is missing? Kafka Python, maybe Docker stuff, and something else was I'll remember. All right. So okay, we need one more terminal to do that. So here is the server. Let's put this one here. Workspace code, example streaming app, and let's go under Kafka. And here we have the producer, but we'll initialize stuff here. So the dependency can be installed in multiple ways, but I'll use virtual environment, and that's done by -p Python 3 ve3. So that will initialize Python 3 virtual environment. Yeah, and we have the ve3 here, and we have to activate that environment by running ve3 bin activate. Now we have that stuff here, which is virtual environment activated, and I'll just run pip install Kafka Python, if I'm not wrong. All right, we have that package, which is great, and that script is just executed by running Python and then that, yeah. Producer Python minus version, that should be 3.8, yeah, in my case, and stream producer. All right, so the script produced one node, and then a couple of edges, and then more nodes, and yeah, we are producing stuff here. If we go into the lab, we are getting stuff here that's going to be updated. So we are adding data to Memgraph, and also so as you can see here, we don't have these neighbors and anywhere, and that Memgraph should create these things somewhere. We have some concurrent errors, but that's good. Let me just check. Match n r on rm. Yeah, we already have. This is actually wrong. Interesting. I just realized that we have a bug in 1.5 version of Memgraph, and that's not yet updated, I think. Sorry, which version? Yeah, this. So the bug is that we don't actually, trigger is actually not executed. But okay, I'll just stop that for now. Let me just check Memgraph version, and that's done by docker logs -f Memgraph streaming app 1.6. So we have the latest version of Memgraph. we already created 200 edges. Yeah, I'm actually not sure why the neighbors count is not updated. Let me check for errors in the connect script in the backend code. Some nodes and some edges are created. Updated total count to 13 to 14. Just a second. Do we have Kafka backend? Node. Okay. Index. So we create these things here, and also here we can actually get stuff. Let's run that and see what's going to happen. Yeah, since that the node app also has, yeah, but all counts are 0. Okay, that's definitely some kind of a bug. All right. No. Memgraph queries and update trigger. So end node neighbors +1. Yeah, it seems that that was never executed for some reason. Yeah, that maybe that was because of these concurrent operations which failed. These are all nodes, but also I have yep. And also why this person doesn't have a neighbor 0, because that's also a trigger. It should have been executed. Yeah. Okay. I'm actually not sure. Let me try to execute some other backend. Maybe there is something broke, but it's not, because connected with yeah, edges are fine. All right. Not sure what is happening, but yeah, I'll just try. I'll leave that for later to fix that as well. I'll try to run other examples and then fix that later on. So okay, so but obviously nodes are coming in and stuff is getting executed, and the neighbors trigger is also executed. that trigger is executed 100%. There is some problem with the other trigger. We'll check that. All right, so let's go back here, and essentially that's it. So this is the whole code. So for the backend, and it essentially interacts with Kafka and also with Memgraph. And feel free to clone that code, try it out, extend, and use that as the basis of your work. And yeah, any feedback on that side would be amazing. All right. So in addition to Node, let's go to the next one. So we have Python. Python should be straightforward as well. So we have Kafka. I'll try to avoid repeating all the stuff here, but yeah, let's try to install dependencies here. Most of the stuff should be the same. Let's go to Python, and here we install virtual. Yeah, I'm not sure why I don't have virtual environment. I have a shortcut for activating an environment. So now we're gonna install requirements. So we are downloading Kafka Python, we are downloading GQL Alchemy and PyMG client and all these things. All right. We have Kafka, we have Memgraph, and if we run Python, we should end up. Boom. All right. What's that? Unrecognized arguments. Interesting. App. What's the line? 73. Encoding UTF-8. Interesting. Obviously, there is no that encoding flag here. Let's remove it. Okay, it works. That's it. We have the producer here. I think. Yeah, the neighbor's trigger does not work for some reason again. But yeah, we are, as you can see, we stream stuff. Okay, we deleted the whole thing again, and yeah, stuff is coming in. So essentially, that's how you run everything with Python. So I'm gonna stop this. And yeah, that's Python. So Python is fairly straightforward. But again, that stuff doesn't work with Python 3.8. Python encoding needs to be fixed, which is fine. I think I run with 3.7, so that worked before. Okay, Python. Then the next one is what was the next one? Java. Let's do Java. Install Java and Maven. Yeah, I think I have Java, but not sure about Maven. So let me go back here. Stop this. Deactivate. Okay. Java minus version. Yeah, I have Java 14, which is great. Maven version. Sudo apt install Maven. Yes. Okay. Position yourself within the project or open with Java IDE. Okay. Maven compile. And then the rest is fairly similar. Okay. I think the project is Memgraph streaming. This is the project. Yeah. Maven compile. We are now compiling the project. We have Kafka, we have Memgraph, which is fine. Great, and then we should run this. Streaming. Now again, a little bit of Maven stuff. Hopefully that's gonna fly. All right. I think that's it. And if I run here, producer again, boom. Node came in here, and also here. It's working. Yeah, it's coming to this stuff. Okay. I'll stop this. And also backend Java. Let's quickly go through that. It's fairly simple. It has just one source file. App. It's essentially very similar. So we have a node query, HQuery, and then we parse that string and we run transactions to create nodes and edges, and that's it. And then we just consume Kafka messages from here. All right. That was Java. What's next? So I think we have Go. All right, let's stop this. What about Go? So we have a simple Go file. If we open this, again, very similar. So we have a couple of commands to create nodes and edges. We have a Kafka config, and then messages are coming in. I mean, I wouldn't explain every single command. It's fairly straightforward. And then in addition to these things, we just run this against Memgraph, and then we got neighbors here. All right, let's try it and run this. So we need to initialize, create Go repository. We need to initialize repository, and then also install dependencies. That's done by executing this thing. We created .mod file. We have to install dependencies. Oh yeah, and obviously I have Go somehow on my PC. Go version, Go version is 1.13. So if I run that go mod tidy, That's gonna install dependencies. All right, and we run that by executing this here. Obviously, we ended up with a concurrent operation error, but yeah, it seems fine because that in this case these backends are slightly different. They are getting messages from before, so these are the messages that are within Kafka from before. So Kafka saves all these messages, and yeah, the concurrent operation is something expected. So Memgraph actually does not automatically serialize these things, that otherwise the exception is thrown. I mean, the exception is thrown, but I don't know why this happens in this case, because there is only one. There should be only one transaction at any given time. Let's check this. So probably these messages came in at the same time, and then they are executed at the same time on the backend side, and then we got serialization error. All right, but yeah, obviously this is also some kind of a bug that has to be fixed. And yeah, okay, but essentially this thing, the whole thing works. I mean, the running backend code. All right, let's go back. Go is also done, and the last one, C#. CS. So we have here install. So we need a client, and that's gonna be added by this command. I'm not sure. I think I have to position myself here, and .NET -- version. I also have .NET installed, so that's also easy. So on Ubuntu, it's just apt-get install .NET. So yeah, in the beginning I said that I don't have install all these things, but I have. So yeah, I think installing these things should be fairly simple task in general. So yeah, if you would like to for me to install, I mean to make that video about installing stuff, just put a comment and I'll try to do that as well. Okay, now I'm installing the client, and once that's done, we also need Kafka. Echo. Yeah, this is the command that will give me the exit command of the exit status of the previous command. So the whole thing exited successfully. Kafka is running, Memgraph is running, and I have to run the client, the backend, by running this. Error again. Actually, in this case, we actually have the requirement. So if I go here, we actually have requirement .NET 5. So install .NET 5 on Ubuntu 2004. I think that should be very easy. .NET SDK file. Yeah, this one. We need that. Sudo apt install that. Yes. While this is installing, yeah, I don't think we have more stuff to do at this point. Okay, .NET version 5.3, which is great. I think also they have some kind of info query. Yeah, I'm not sure. .NET help. -info, yeah. -info. So I have installed .NET SDK version 5, which is okay. And now I have to run that .NET run. Okay, I think that's running. And if I run producer, boom. Okay, so these nodes are also coming in, which is great. And yeah, that's also working. Okay. Let's stop this. Here we have the Kafka, and here we have Zookeeper, Kafka, Docker PS, Docker stop, Memgraph. Okay. Let's close all this. Yeah. So that was it. I went through all the programming languages and run all the backends. I obviously detected a bunch of problems, a bunch of bugs. I will try to fix all of that. Some of them might be related to Memgraph, and it will require more time to fix, so I won't now spend more time on that. Hopefully this was interesting. And yeah, in case you have any questions or anything, just ask. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. I will skip this weekend. On Saturday I won't have any stream, but I'll be back next Saturday. I don't yet know the topic. It might be probably I'm gonna actually write and implement a node client for Memograph, but we'll see about that. That's not 100% decided yet. Feel free to suggest what should I code. I would like to do something out of the box, something that I don't have something that I don't have in my plans. Okay, thank you very much. Have a good rest of the day and see you soon. Bye bye.